Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, I'm an indie game dev, and I'm currently working on my shoot 'em up roguelike game called Azor. And in the almost 2 years of making games, I only made 2D games. Not because I don't like 3D games, just because I really love drawing. And combining my love of drawing with game dev is just really amazing. But I now decided to learn 3D game development. And there's this free course by Thomas Brush called Easy 3D. So I took that and learned how to make 3D games. First of all, I needed to get a feel for 3D navigation in Unity. Since I started 2 years ago, I used Unity. So I feel pretty comfortable with making stuff in there. And even though there was a new dimension for me, it felt pretty normal. Then I downloaded a few assets, like environment models, grass and flowers, and the first-person character controller. I find it easier to make a 3D game out of a first-person perspective, because you don't need to focus too much on animations and stuff like that, just because you can't see the player. So next I learned to use the terrain tool, and I made a nice little path with some hills here and there. For the landscape behind, I added some mountains with a grey stone texture. All these textures were from an asset pack as well. It looked a bit flat and boring, but I was super excited about it. Then I added trees and rocks. Now to prevent it from looking like an asset flip, I changed some things of the textures. Just simple things like color were enough to make it look unique. I really learned that you don't need to create everything from scratch with this project. It's a different story in 2D, but in 3D you can easily make everything fit one style. So after editing 2 trees and a single rock, I made these 3 things, a prefab variant, and placed these prefabs around the map. I always rotated and scaled the trees and rocks differently, so they don't look too much like the same. I added grass then, and I also changed some properties here to make it look like I made it myself. To make it look a bit better, I added some really subtle fog and then post-processing. Post-processing wasn't anything new for me, except for ambient occlusion, it was all the same. Then I created some falling leaves, like in my environment tutorial I made on this channel. Even though this was for 2D, I could take some concepts and apply them to 3D. Then I noticed a big problem: there was no gameplay. I added this with some collectibles called orbs. When collecting all, you can go to the rune and finish the game. Because of simplisticness and time limitation, this game has only one level with this single mechanic. Here's the result. I'm super happy with my first 3D game ever. It may not be super gameplay heavy and small, but it looks and feels really good. With this said, see you next time. Cheers.